Rain in Sin City. Welcome to Las Vegas and the STB Tier 6 qualifying session for the Las Vegas Gamblers Grand Prix. Now, this does ring a bit of deja vu to frequent watchers of STB, as we were at Vegas just last month and with the penultimate round of what was it called? Season 29. Yeah, we have a car out on track. I need to turn that on. And it's one of the Salbers who are out at the moment. So it is 1, 2, 3. Currently out on his lap so far. He's a bit loose. On the exit, turn 3. As you can see, track isn't exactly the driest, which will hinder the drivers in quest for a fast lap time. Not too sure the weather for Tier 7, but I'm pretty sure it's dry, so we'll see Tier 7 times probably be faster than Tier 6, but for obvious reasons. Not too sure if the weather's going to clear up or not, but if it is, then obviously that will help everyone else in the session. And also not too sure if it's going to be a wet race either, so yeah. Right, I'm on the stream, and we'll see what happens. Mark my words, Simply Henry is winning today, says Bardiaria Hidian. Whoever that is, but so Simply Henry, he's the Haas in 8th at the moment. The first lap of the day will be done by 1, 2, 3. Oh, you can hear the tyres screeching under braking for the Sauber. As this team in real life recently just had an Audi event of some sort, releasing a concept car of what their 2026 F1 entry will look like next season. So that might be the cars that you'll be seeing these drivers drive in the next game. As a little kick of the table there, kick of the tail from 1, 2, 3 as he heads into turn 5, the end of sector 1, into the 90-degree corner, the entry to the road round the globe. So he heads out of turn 5. Purple's at the 1, as he's the only one to do it so far. Heads up into the chicane. Little tricky chicane there. As he heads round the dome on the side there. The dome gives him a little side eye as he blasts toward the Venetian S's. Round the first and the second part of the S. Taking a wide line through into this next corner. Very acute corner. It catches you out on the exit, but again, it's a 103.9 for the benchmark of that sector. So as he heads into the next corner, we have 1, 2, 3. As we have Exat Max in the chat, the Green Army F1 owner. As there's going to be no wet race, and we're not too sure if it's going to dry up later on, as it looks like 1, 2, 3 is invalidated. I missed that. See, invalidated on the inside curb, so that's a shame. 1, 2, 3's first lap is out the window. But what about Echoverse, who's currently on a lap? He'll be the next one to cross the line. He'll come into the next corner then, with all the... Oh, he mounts the curb. He nearly spins. The curbs are normally something you would like to avoid here in STB in the rain, but Echoverse using all the curb, and it puts him with a 141.7. Next one up on the table is a Red Bull, and it's ADS Felaminion, who goes with a 140.4. That's way quicker than the 41.3 posted by Moldy, almost 9/10 quicker. Chazzy, though, behind the Aston Martins in his Williams. So the Honda power unit looking like it's handling the wet conditions better. than the Mercedes power units are able to do. Thanks for butchering the name. Oh, no problem, my friend. Oh, and there's Voxidan in the other Williams getting very close to the pole, or closer to the pole time than anyone else has got so far, with a 140.9. Jamo up into P4 as well. Veteran Muho replaces Voxidan and takes second place for the Scuderia, as I think his Scuderia teammate, no, his Scuderia teammate's on an out lap. I think Instant Echo's on a lap though, and he's heading down the straight now. He's got a Sauber behind him. I reckon that will be 1, 2, 3. It is, because the other Sauber's in the pits, Lindfork. And, Instant Echo rattles over the curb and invalidates the lap, and he hits the wall as well on the exit, if I'm not mistaken. Track limits are strict, if I'm not mistaken, if I check. Sorry, I got stick drift. There we go. As we have a look here, yes. Track limits are strict, as we'll have a look at the other things as well. So dynamic weather, short long qualifying, and dual board. So yeah, that's it so far. We have Will Tomo going into P7 provisionally, so that'll be a good spot for him on the grid. We have a purple sector from Simply Henry, so the man who was predicted by Bardi to win is currently doing very well. There's a provisional pole for Yoshi. Yoshi did very well in Australia. Let me just check, but I'm pretty sure Yoshi did very, very well in Australia. In qualifying, or I don't know, in race trim, he had a bad race, didn't he? He finished 18th in the race, but I'm pretty sure he qualified quite highly up. I'm not too sure his exact position yet. So he qualified 15th, but we have the Haas going over the line up into P6 behind the owner of the league, Moldy, who's being wheeled back into his garage. We have Will Tomo, we have Benno in the V-Carb Minardi Toro Rosso thing in 11th, currently only ahead of Chazzy and the other people who haven't set a time, that being Instant Echo, who's back out for a second attempt. We have 1, 2, 3. That final sequence of corners, he hasn't invalidated this time. So what pace does 1, 2, 3 have to show? He'll cross the line in 3, 2, 1 and go up to P2. Great lap, and he's 200ths ahead of Ultra in the Niki Lauda attributed Ferrari. This new livery that's in the game as of 2 days ago. As of today, actually, because of this survival challenge mode that they've added into the game. Ultra's the only one running the livery, so Veteran Muho isn't, from what I can tell. As you can see, it doesn't look like there's a special Sauber livery on the grid today. It looks like we have the normal Saubers. In terms of the Hasses, the Hasses aren't in a special livery, as I can see. No, they're not, unless Simply Henry's running something, which he isn't. So the Hasses are the same. The McLarens, is there a special liveried McLaren? We have a special lap by someone. That was Hussein, and Voxidan takes pole with a 139.7. So maybe that's a hint at the track maybe getting dry up. We have Chazzy coming to the line here. Let's see what lap he can set. I don't think it will be a 39 pole lap, but will it be something else? He goes nowhere. He stays 11th. So he improves his time by a lot, but he's up into 11th and staying there for now. We have Will Tomo half a second up. We have a yellow flag for a Ferrari. That'll be Ultra, who's just set that time. That's gone 200ths behind 1, 2, 3. Yoshi and Voxidan going quite high up the order. Voxidan didn't do very well in qualifying in Australia. He was P19 there. Made it up to P16 by the end of the race. But yeah, real turn of fortune for the top two, as both of them started outside of the top 15 last time out in Australia. And Yoshi, although he had good pace, he just couldn't find the luck. But up to P8 goes Will Tomo, as I think that's the first time I've seen him lap the track, or lap at any STB races. Was it Jack Robo would normally be in his car, but Jack Robo is not here today. He started 10th in Australia, but obviously DNF'd. He was the first retirement. Jamo into the next corner. He's quite far down on his lap. There's a spark of the curb there for him. As we head through, Echo saying, of course it has to rain. Yes, of course it does. I think it's drying up though. It looks like it's drying up. Or it could dry up towards the end, should I say. Because times are improving, it looks like. I'm not too sure if that's just drivers getting dialed in or not. But it does look like the lap times are getting faster. The track is evolving with the conditions. So it'll be very interesting. But, yeah. As Instant Echo invalidates yet again. So he heads into the pits to rethink his strategy around that corner. Because he's... so we have the Williams here, double stacking. We have the Aston Martins currently going around. Justin Martin's lap. That's Moldy, 9/10 up on his lap. So he's on a better run. He did a 1:41.3 last time round, but he looks like he's going to improve that by a lot. We have was that Hussein? It was Hussein Kuzi up into P12, 2/10 ahead of Moldy, but Moldy being 9/10 up, this could change his fortune. And he was struggling earlier in a time trial practice, or a GP qualifying practice earlier on. He was struggling for lap time in dry, but he's not struggling for lap time in the wet, as he goes up to P2. The 69 Aston Martin puts in a very decent lap indeed. Goes 3/10 off the pole time. That's closer than anyone's got so far to Voxidan. So, STB Moldy, the owner of the league, owning the grid here in STB. Only Voxidan ahead of him at the moment. We have Yoshi on the lap right now. Let's ride on board with him. And, Joe, I'm going to let you hear what is going on with Yoshi's car round this lap. As ADS takes pole position by 1/10 of a second. Huge lap by the Red Bull driver. Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull also gives you provisional pole position, it looks like. Yeah, back with Yoshi. I'm going to turn the telemetry on so you can see what his dashboard looks like as he's driving round this Las Vegas track. 10th up at the moment. Got a little bit impeded there by the Haas. He's going to head out of the Sphere corner and into the Venetian S. Into the obtuse corner as he uses a lot of curve. A very F123 line from Yoshi's, half a second up. That could put him within a good chance of being on the front row, maybe even pole position. There's 2 more tenths to be on pole position currently. Charging that ERS, he locks the rears. You can hear the tyres screeching in the background. There's a yellow flag for one of the Haas's, probably doing a bit of traffic management, using the rest of his ERS. Yoshi comes to the line then, the Mercedes man. We ride off board, and he goes to pole position by 33 thousandths of a second, should I say. That's a huge lap by Yoshi. That was a joy to ride on board with, I must say so myself. But the times are improving. Does that mean the track's improving, or does that mean the drivers are doing better? Simply Henry just went up the order, up into P8 behind the Ferraris. I think veteran Muho is also improved this time while I wasn't looking. Voxidan preparing to tackle that time again. Veteran Muho up by 0.8 of a second. That could put him near. That could put him P4 ahead of Moldy. It's the Ferrari of Muho, the man known for his RGR Aston Martin drives in Spa and in Australia. Not Australia, Spain. That's what I'm on about. But he heads around the last corner here in Las Vegas in STB and goes up to P5. He looks like he's gone up by 0.6. He's gone to P5. He's a thousandth behind he's a couple thousandths behind Moldy. and well over 3/10 ahead of 1, 2, 3. So not too bad for the Scuderia. We have a McLaren going up to the line now. That will be not Will Thomas. That'll be, there he is, the man who goes from 18th to 13th, DK. Nice lap by him. He goes just behind his teammate by 400ths. There's another Mercedes coming to the line. We have the Williams as well of Voxy down. Where's he? He's at the S. He's at the Venetian S. There's a Haas going over the line. That will be Instant beating his teammate. Instant Echo going ahead of his teammate provisionally here in qualifying. And Josh goes ahead of Simply Henry as well. So Henry, who took a provisional pole earlier on, has now gone right down to 10th. As it looks like it will be a wet race according to the Kyler forecast. Yeah. Okay, one sec. So, Yoshi has taken pole position by 4/10 of a second. Storming lap by the Sauber. We have Ultra, who was competitive earlier on, but it looks like he's shuffled down the order. He's been shuffled down by the order. No, I can't speak today. He's been shuffled down the order by other drivers. He's now looking to shoot himself back up the order. We have Moldy as well. Very competitive today. So far, currently in P5, he was fighting the midfield as well, at the top of the midfield in the last race in Australia as well. So the top of the midfield seems like the happy hunting ground for Moldy. We have Ultra coming to the line. He was P3 earlier, but in that new stylish Ferrari, he comes around the last corner and sets a time that sets Sin City alight. What a lap! Taking pole position away from 1, 2, 3. So Ultra, being Ultra, up to the line comes Moldy. Is he going to set the times alight in a similar way? He's down in P6 now. Comes around the last corner and he goes P2. He just misses out on pole by just under 1/10 of a second. Beautiful. Voxy Dan goes up to P4 ahead of Yoshi. As that is the end of qualifying. We're waiting on Iceman to go into the pits, and then we will start the race. As Will Tomo saying that he got impeded while he was 1.2 seconds up. So that would have put him right up the order. That's the order so far. So we're away here in Las Vegas. Ultra ahead of Moldy. Then comes Voxy Dan. 1, 2, 3's going down the order. Linflad. Oh, there's huge chaos at the back as well. With the Mercedes, the Alpines. There's a Sauber going round. 1, 2, 3 started well up the order. Now falls down the order like a pin. And he's down the order. Also a Haas. Instant Echo has been echoed into a spin by another car. Probably hitting him. Or him just spinning out himself, but it is a dry race so far, as it was predicted to be wet. We have Wedlake battling with another driver. I think it was Yoshi. We have the Williams here trying to get past one of the Alpines. He's an Alpine sandwich right now. There's a move wide for one of the Aston Martins. That's Echoverse. So there's two Echoes. There's Echoverse and Instant Echo, and it's Instant Echo who's round again in the back. As you can see on the mini-map, he's down the runoff area. The Lando Norris went down ages ago. Benson trying to get at 1, 2, 3 to put him from I think it was P4 on the grid, to P19. And he's not doing that so far. He got very close, but not quite yet. We flick up the order though. We have Moldy with a great start. Started P2, and he's still hot on the heels of Ultra, who sets the fastest lap on those mediums. As we have Wedlake in the pits, and with a 10-second penalty, you also have Benno in the pits as well. Hussein is going down the order. He looks like he might have made a mistake, and he's now struggling. We have Yoshi as well. He's gone right down the order since the start. He's still going down the order now. He's been passed by both McLarens. Nightmare for the Brackley team. Again, Mercedes struggling here in STB Tier 6, and Echo versus round. Another Echo in trouble. So Echoverse out. And now that is an absolute disaster for both Echo men. So Yoshi and 1, 2, 3 also swapping places further back. That's down at the chicane, the Domi chicane, as we have ADS, the man who set the times alight in qualifying when it looked like it wasn't gonna be his day. He looked like he was having a fairly quiet session, then he shot to the top, and now he's looking to shoot past STB Moldy, the leader, the owner, should I say, of the league. But the owner also has DRS on the car in front of him. This could be a three-wide battle. The Aston, the Ferrari, the Red Bull. nearly 3 wide. The Red Bull backs out to the outside for Moldy. He holds it. And he's going to get the move, but the Ferrari comes back. They're 3 wide, heading down the straight into turn 17. Through goes ADS. Beautiful. The final minion flies past the Ferrari of Ultra, who's now under pressure from Moldy, and puts him in the wall. Huge shunt. Moldy and the Ferrari of Ultra into the wall. Moldy's not going to like this, as there's a battle between Simply Henry and Lindfork, and the result of it is going to be Moldy falling into that battle as almost something like LMGT3 traffic from WEC. As they're 3 wide, it could be 4 wide. This is going to be absolutely hectic. How are they going to work this out? Moldy holds it around the outside of the Haas. The Haas gets loose, nearly hits one of the Saubers, and the Sauber goes through on the inside. The Ferrari now through on the inside as well. The Haas really got affected there by Moldy being slow. Moldy holding up a massive bead swab of cars. So Vital Minion leads Ultra, leads this massive Trilly train of cars. There's a Sauber of Lindfork looking to go around the outside. He has obviously a lot more downforce with that front wing that Moldy isn't having. As to the outside of the very obtuse corner before the strip. And we have the army of cars heading down the straight. Moldy, though, should have a bit of extra straight line speed because of his front wing going, but it doesn't look like he's going to get it so far. He didn't have a good exit. But we head down the straight. It's nearly 3 wide. There's nearly contact with the Williams and the V-Carb in the background as well. But it's 3 wide with the Haas, or with 3 Ferrari-powered cars. The Ferrari, the Sauber, and the Haas. We also have battle in the background with the Williams and the Alpine and the V-Carb as well. Into the pits for Moldy. Fastest lap for File Minion. Inside for Lindfork, and he takes the podium from veteran Muho. We look from the rear of the Kick Sauber car, and he gets past the Ferrari. The Toyota Haas as well, looking to make a move. And he's going to come down the straight with enormous aggression, similar to the aggression of the rally car from Toyota Gazoo, the Yaris. It's to the outside for the Sauber, contact with the Ferrari of veteran. So Muho making it a Ferrari 2-3. And then there's 2 Ferrari customer cars battling it out. The Toyota Haas car hits the wall, and he nearly falls into the trap of the Alpine that's battling there, as you can see, with the V-Carb and the Williams, who nearly go round. And that's going to cost them a lot of positions. Also, Jamo nearly had a go as Simply Henry. So Simply Henry having a horrid situation yet again. Slower cars putting him off and putting him into the firing line for other potential threats. We're looking from the rear of the Alpine now. So Iceman, Chazzy, and Josh all going for it. They head down the strip. Who's going to come out in front in this one? We look from the 36. Looks like nothing's really going to change. They look like they're stuck in a bit of a train at the moment. So they're pulling out for clean air, but they're not really pulling out for moves. That's wrong. There's a McLaren down the inside, and he shoves the V-Carb in the wall. Josh has been absolutely decked in the wall, and he's out. So an absolute assassination by DK, as now Lindfork takes 3rd place back from veteran Muho. He did this on the last lap. Will he do it on this lap? Instant Echo gets another penalty, as we have Lindfork going round the outside of veteran Muho, managing the grip well and getting ahead. Meanwhile, we have the Alpine of Jamo looking to... He helped make the lobby earlier on. Now he's helping to get some points for the Alpine team. Him and Iceman really in a battle with Williams again. These midfield blue cars always seem to be scrapping in leagues, no matter if it's STB or anything else. I didn't commentate on RGR yesterday. I was very busy as I was getting organised for a radio interview. I'll explain more about that later on. But all in all, I was being interviewed for a radio, and I was under a lot of pressure to organise myself. So yeah. Anyway, we head down the straight. We have the McLarens duking it out, very much like real life. This side by side with DK and Will Tomo. Tomo gets out of his teammate, but this could bring the Sauber into play. To the inside for 1, 2, 3. He's going to make the move stick on both McLarens. Both Saubers making progress. Or are they? As DK comes back. Massive aggression for DK. No front wings are gone. But that is a horrible exit that 1-2-3 has got. But they head into the final corner. How are they going to organise this one? 4 cars right in the thick of it. As to the inside for the Sauber. The McLaren look to the inside. Then the Sauber looks to the inside. They're 3 wide on the exit. Huge drift by QZ. And they head round that next corner. We have Simply Henry looking for a move on the Alpine of Voxidan. Is that going to be a move? No, he has to back out of it. Vettel and Mujo also battling with the Sauber. Still, as the McLarens are still going at it and crashing. Drama for the Woking base team. So, yeah, that's a huge shunt for the McLarens. And they are now down the order, like, with Echoverse in between them. And Echoverse has had I can't speak today. Echoverse has had his own troubles today. But, yeah. We head through the S section, the Venetian S, as that's, yeah, we have heading down the straight. We have, that's the wrong Ferrari. I've got to go, sorry. It's down the inside for Vesserin Mujo, and he takes off the Sauber. Lindblad and Vesserin off in the runoff. Huge drama. Sorry about that, just had to sort something out, but I am back. But yeah, to further elaborate on Christ Steele's point, because I know Pistol might have been a bit ticked off at it, but yeah, I was meant to do last night, but then had drama coursework and the radio. I had the interview was I can't speak. The interview for the radio was yesterday, but the Tuesday I had to organise it with him and tell him where we're going to meet and things like that, and it just took too long, so I wasn't able to make it. We're going to try and make the next one. But yeah, safety car's in this lap, and we have a Haas lead-in. It was Monkey in Australia, it's simply Henry now here in the Las Vegas Grand Prix, but I think stick drift's annoying. Just great. We head back to Green Flag Racing. We have the Red Bull. We have chaos at the back. Massive gaggle of cars. We have a move being made by Lindfork against Jazzy. Jazzy battling, and now the McLaren goes through. Will Tomo, very opportunistic. Love that. As we head as side by side, as the leaders are being contended as well, as the Haas goes in the wall. Simply Henry gets simply edged out to the wall and is now simply fourth. And there's a hit, the Ferrari and the Williams making contact. Ultra and Voxidan making contact. There's jockeying for position between the Alpines. The Fred Charmy looking to invade on Simply Henry for fourth place. They're also side by side with veteran Muho, who takes the position. Great stuff. Side by side, Simply Henry loses the place to Jamo, and they're jockeying for position. How have they not tangled yet? I will never know. But this massive gaggle of cars, it's just Constantinaing throughout the whole field at the moment. As there's possibly 2-3 wide moments that could happen now between the Alpine and the Sauber. Here we go, the Sauber's going to go 3 wide with the Haas and the Ferrari. No, he's not. And the Alpine doesn't go 3 wide, he goes side by side with the McLaren through this twisty section. And there was contact for sure. DK is round, is he? I think he's round, he is. DK went round. And the Williams of Chazzy went round as well. As there's a McLaren going slow. That's DK with big damage, it looks like, on that McLaren. Moldy's dropped a lot of positions, probably due to a pit stop. A 10-second penalty for 1-2-3 for ignoring yellow flags. Head up the field. We have the Williams battling with the Alpine. This midfield battle between these two constructors continues. So the Alpine and the Williams, that's Jamo and Voxidan battling for the podium. P3 up for grabs between these two. They're separated by just under a tenth, just over a tenth, should I say. Heading through the dome section. They head through the the Venetian S into the very acute corner. And there's a car off, that's a Ferrari. That's veteran Muho into the wall, it looks like, and he's going to lose a lot of time to Will Thomas and Iceman and lots of people behind him. As Iceman and veteran and Will going 3 wide. Jamo takes the podium place from Voxidan, but Iceman goes up to 6th round. Who's that? That's a Mercedes, that's Yoshi. And Akoverse. Yoshi and Akoverse going off there. Huge jump. And now they're 3 wide, the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Wedlake with the 2 Mercedes battling for P10. Fastest lap for Wedlake. And the Mercedes send each other to the Shadow Realm. Husey Cusey gets sent to the pit wall and ricochets down the orders to 13th. 1-2-3 picks up on that chaos. The Brackley-based outfit, that debrief is going to be very fun, isn't it? As STB T6 drama all over. Mercedes here on lap 14 on the beginning. As Brendan Lee! Brendan Lee's raiding! Brendan Lee's raiding. Hello, my friend. Welcome to STB again. I think you watched the Tier 1 Australian Grand Prix. And now you're here on the Tier 6 Las Vegas Grand Prix. Wow, Brendan Lee, okay. We have the acute little corner heading onto Las Vegas Strip. And heading down into that squiggly section at the end of the lap. We have, heading down the straight, we have the Alpine and the Sauber going side by side. Bloody Nora, this is going to be close with the pair of them. No, nothing works. But there is a battle between the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Come on, camera work. Yoshi and Wedlake battling again. These two tangled, or Yoshi tangled with his teammate battling Wedlake last time, and he's tangled himself into a big knot. That's a, well, that's a matted Mercedes. And what on earth's happening here? There's a clown show with the Mercedes cars, or the Mercedes powered cars, should I say, as they're bouncing off the walls like a ping pong ball. There's 3 wide nearly between the McLaren and the Williams and the Mercedes. This is, well, this is racing on AIDS, or steroids, should I say. So we have, oh, 1 sec, I've got a head. Big apologies. I'm gonna have to end early. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but yeah, I've got family bullshit to sort out. Sorry, but yeah, massive apologies, massive. But yeah, I don't know if I'll leave the stream up like this or if I'll have to take off. I'm not too sure, but I've got family bullshit to sort out. So yeah, you probably won't hear me. You can take over. Oh, please do, please do. Yeah, apologies.